Hi, Rashmi. Welcome to the Say Cheese platform. How are you?
Thanks very much for having me, Divya. Lovely to be here.
It's a very special week for us. We've just launched the Say Cheese community app, and can't be more excited. It's like the our version of getting a huge community of women together, and the making them converse and network, and be there for each other in a way that cuts across boundaries and geographies. And for that reason, we're having a launch event across 2 months. It started yesterday, so you're very much a part of the inaugural session. And we plan to have it for 2 months, and there are tons of things planned, such as the Unstoppable Woman Award and the speaker sessions and speed networking. So lots of things coming our way. We're so excited to have you with us today.
Thank you so much for having me the lineup, and it's amazing to see how many women we have on the panel. It's wonderful to see.
Thank you, Rashmi. Our website is live, and we have over 10,000 women who've already registered with us. So that's extremely promising. So without any more delay, let me start the session by introducing you and our topic, and we can get going, if that's okay.
Yeah, fabulous. Let's go.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Rashmi Prabhakar is an experienced FinTech professional with 25 years of experience in driving strategic change and technology transformative initiatives within banking, energy, and financial services, and is currently the Chief of Staff at Finastra and moving to be the VP Business Management and Client Delivery at Genesis Global. Prior to her current role, Rashmi was with the Barclays Program managing the rollout of the risk regulatory systems. She is a technologist and people's person at heart, and attributes her success to the strong value system ingrained by her parents, teachers, and the opportunities afforded to her in the environment she grew up in, as well as a very supportive husband and children. Additionally, she has been hugely passionate about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and is a dedicated ambassador empowering men and women to achieve their aspirations by shaping and rolling out unconscious bias, mentoring and male advocacy programs to promote awareness and foster an equal, diverse, and psychologically safe, inclusive culture and environment. She lives in London, UK with her husband and children aged 13 and 8 who keep her grounded and make her appreciate the simple pleasures in life. How lovely, Rashmi. How lovely.
Thank you, Divya.
All right, we have a very interesting topic, and that is your personal brand. So let's just get started. So Rashmi, what exactly is a personal brand, and why is it so important for us?
Okay, so I think before I move into kind of personal brand, I think I'll probably just talk through my journey, so it sets the context of kind of why this is an important topic. So I was born and brought up and did my schooling and my university in Bombay, now called Mumbai, in India. I spent a large part of my life, the first half of my life, I guess, in India. Around in my 20s, I decided after my engineering that I was keen to kind of move abroad and kind of gain, I guess, a bit more exposure to different cultures and environments. And so I think there's a trend throughout my career where I have chosen to take risks, chosen to, I guess, step away from what was easy and what was convenient and what was comfortable. So I'd say there's a generic kind of phases through my career. As I moved to the UK, I did my engineering, I moved to the UK, I decided to travel abroad. And all the roles that, I guess if you can look at my LinkedIn profile, but all the roles that I've taken on throughout my career have always been something where I've probably looked at and not been quite sure about my own self. So I think my self-belief at that point was like, am I going to do it? Can I do a good job? Have I done it before? And I think you question yourself. I think all of us go through a phase where we say, are we really ready for it? So coming back to the topic about personal brand, I think it's the perception that people have of you, your reputation, and your strengths, and kind of knowing what they are. So I definitely say that over the years, I've focused on kind of making my work speak for myself. I think your passion, your dedication, and your work kind of is the first and foremost foundation. But the layer above that is what people take away when they actually connect with you. So it comes back to the connection that you make with people, what they actually take away. So one of the stories I'll probably narrate, I had a conversation a few days ago with someone I was working with, and the thing they mentioned was not that I did a project on time or that my technical skills were savvy, which they probably were for me to get the opportunity, but they remembered my energy, and they remembered that I was friendly and that I helped them probably 3 years ago. And so I would say a mixture of these personal connections and memories are actually what make you as a person. How important or relevant it is, or why is it such an important topic? I think we underestimate the importance of us as a person and a human being. And we attribute, when we go to apply for jobs, we're talking about our skills, we're talking about the tools we know, we're talking about the companies we work with. Fabulous. It's something that we all need. But the layer that sits all above it is you as a person. What do you stand for? What do you bring to the table from your personality traits, your strengths and your weaknesses? And so I feel that is a topic that's been discussed several times and several times over. But the importance of it now in this virtual world is even more important. We have to connect with people over this medium. So how do you portray that? How do you get yourself out? How do you get your personality on your face out through a screen? I think it becomes very, very pertinent in this day and age.
So Rashmi, do you feel that authenticity has a big role in this, or do you feel it's something that can be sort of creatively done, if I may say so, and some bit of marketing, etc., is involved? So what do you feel about the whole personal brand?
So I think there's different things. There's personal brand, is it what you stand for and your beliefs? And I think authenticity can only come, I don't think you can fake or market authenticity necessarily. It's like selling something. If someone gave you a product that you didn't believe in and you had to go to the market and sell it, it would show on your face, it would show in your nervousness, it would show. So I think if we bring it back to kind of, I guess, how do you put yourself out there and come across authentic? You've got to have a belief. You've got to know what you're made of. You've got to know your strengths. You've got to know your passions, or, you've got to pause and think about what you stand for, and it will shine through. I don't think then you need to add any additional skills. I think if you believe in what you're doing and you're passionate about it, it will come out, never, irrespective. And so I would say authenticity is another, I guess, a buzzword that is probably being used at the moment, but it is quite key because people have to read you for the individual you are, and kind of believe you. I think they've got to have belief in you, and for belief, you can't do it under pretenses. It's got to be from the heart. So I'd say, I think heart over any kind of algorithm. There's no algorithm for it.
Wonderful. So we see a lot of women getting into the technology hiring, and there's just so many more options available for women, but we don't see as many of them moving up the career and especially getting into leadership positions. So do you think there's a specific reason for it, and is there something we as a community can do?
Yeah. So I've been thinking a lot about this. I think when I started my engineering, this was late 90s. We were probably a group of probably 10, 12 girls in a group of 60, like class of 60. So the ratios were quite better, but stark. I think things are a lot better now from an education perspective. But as you move from the education sector, or I guess STEM or engineering sector, into the corporate world, I think there's two areas, and we've been doing a lot at Finastra, and I will continue doing it at my new workplaces. How do we get rid of the, I guess not bias, but how do we get rid of should we be using gender, race, and all of these elements to make decisions? I'd say there's two parts. One is when you're going to hire someone, I would say hire for attitude, hire for personality, hire for potential. And I think what tends to happen is you tend to look for the candidate who matches your role definition 100%. You tend to do that when you're hiring. So I would say hiring, we've got to de-bias the hiring process, number one. Managers need to be open to giving opportunities to people either internally or whatever. Leaders need to pick others who we believe you can mold and coach and grow and mentor into the final role that you want to see them doing. But I guess the biggest piece is, how can we make the people who are applying for these roles, or people who are vying for these leadership roles, how can we make them believe in themselves? And I definitely say is, I think self-belief and confidence is something we underestimate the importance of that. But a lot of the time, as I said before, you apply for roles that you feel you're ready for, 100% ready for. And this is a known fact that you kind of don't want to be in this imposter syndrome mode. And so you say, I'm not going to go there because I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone. I'm not quite sure I can do the job. So let me not take the risk. And I would say the way we can actually tip this, tip the whole balancing point is for having people go for roles or jobs or leadership positions that they believe they can put their heart and soul and actually drive and, do really well. And that belief will make them get through and be selected and, spot the potential to drive it. And I feel a lot of the time for me as well, when every stage, as I've looked at various mentors throughout my career, they have believed in me. They have believed and seen something in me that I have not seen in myself. And so I feel we've got to inculcate that in everyone who's listening and anyone who's looking to bring people on is, have a look around. You will see some sparks of intellect. You'll see some sparks of passion, get them on board. They will be the future leaders. And if you wait for someone to have 20 of the skills in the CV matching 1-to-1, we're not going to see that growth. So we're seeing a big change now. In fact, even now at Finastra and our future companies, they're setting diversity quote, numbers like gender parity, 50-50 gender parity. These are strong things, pay gap, strong statements in the market. I would literally say, go for things, believe in yourself, and find your passion and go for it. I would say that would be the way to kind of tip it.
So Sechis as a community, the vision for Sechis was to be a place where women can come to in their careers, health, and relationships. And we have on board experts, who can show you the way. But as somebody senior in the corporate and who can possibly be a mentor to a lot of women, what is the one advice that you would give to women who are, say, early in their stages of career?
I would say, if I just akin it back to kind of my journey, I would say self-belief. I think believe that you can do it. Visualize that you can, think ahead and visualize that that's it. I am doing it. I'm capable of it. I think that's the number one step. The second thing definitely is find a mentor, because sometimes us having a sounding board and having someone to speak to just talk through, these are the things I'm going through, having that guidance, having that sound, it's been invaluable to me. Like I've had several mentors throughout my career. Sometimes my managers have been my sounding board, sometimes someone completely different. So I would say second thing is definitely get a mentor. The third thing is ask for help. I think we tend to feel the need to always be on top of our game and be the superwoman and the whole thing. But I think my turning point in my career has always been like, this is as much as I can do. I need help, or, be ready to be honest and ask for help. But I would say having the belief and the confidence, getting a mentor and being ready to be honest about what you're capable of and not is probably key to the success. There's one more little kind of variant I want to say. You talked about health and relationships and career. I've had 2 children throughout, in my career, 2 parts of my career. The first time when I had my son, which was in 2008, I was quite there was trepidation, there was fear, there was anxiety in terms of, oh my God, can I ask for a 5 to 4 day week? Can I ask for a 3-day week? Can I ask to go back early? Can I ask for a flexible work lifestyle? And I didn't. And I just, I did a Monday to Friday, 8 to 6:30 job. And I just did it because I thought that was expected of me. But when I was working at Barclays in 2013, I had my daughter. I had a very different experience. And the experience wasn't driven by the company instilling something that this is expected or not. It was me demanding that this is what I wanted out of my life. And I said, I'm going to do a 4-day week. I'm going to come in for 3 days. I'm going to, work from home 1 day. And the other day is for me and my baby and dedicated to the family. it was literally a refreshing change, because they were like, yeah, sure. So I tried to compare my personality in 2008 to 2013 as to why, what caused the shift. Age, I guess, experience, the fact that I've proven myself. So I would definitely say is, if you feel you need something for your balance, or you need something to stay sane and it's going to make you more productive, ask for it. Because if you don't ask, don't get. It's always been my theory. So I would say, just be comfortable in asking, because you never know. You never know. You may be surprised.
Yeah, there are themes running in your entire conversation, right? From authenticity to asking what you need to living by those values. So it's a very clear message. But we're almost at the end of time. But I would want to know from you one last question, which is, what do you think are the skills, like the most important skills that are needed for the generations ahead? It's not what they used to be when, we started working out, and they've changed tremendously. Some of us are coping, some are not able to cope. But for the future generation, what are the sort of the non-negotiable skills that they must have?
So I think the pandemic and the past past 2.5 years, what it's taught us is, things are uncertain, things can change. So I'd say top thing is how you adapt to the change and how you accept it and you're resilient to it is number one. I think it would always been a strength you needed, but even more so now. I think being ready to take things on the chin and say, okay, that's it. Yeah, that's fine. And take it on, I think, is key, very key. The second thing is how you build your people relationships, highly important, and even more important now. Building your rapport with people, keeping those relationships, again, genuine and authentic, and reaching out and staying in contact, without a doubt, I think, really important. The third thing, not necessarily for new generation, but for everyone, is get out of your comfort zone. I think nothing is ever achieved by staying complacent and sitting comfortable. It's good for some phases of your life, but once in a while, get out of your comfort zone. And the fourth thing is find a passion. Find something beyond the job, like you're doing a role, you're doing a job. I don't know, sport, music, dance, exercise. It could be anything. Take something up, because it just creates a very different buzz. And at all my roles, I've always got involved in kind of diversity and inclusion initiatives and employee resource groups. So find something where you are connected to a wider cause. It could be climate, it could be youngsters, it could be education, but find something that actually brings out a different part of you, because it will permeate and filter in through every other part of your career and life.
Wonderful. Very, very, very pertinent points, Rashmi. But thank you for bringing them across to us with so much of clarity and conviction. Any advice for our Say Cheese family, for the people on the website and for the people who are going to be joining our app and listening to you? Any
So
message?
I just say, I think just two things really, believe in yourself. You are your biggest kind of supporter and critic. So I think self-belief, without a doubt, goes a very, very long way, and it shows, it shines, it comes through. And secondly, I guess find someone, sound someone out, talk about it. Don't try to solve your battles internally in your mind and in your head. Reach out, create a network. I think this is just a fabulous environment that you've created for networking. I think it's key for everyone going forward to have that network, someone to lean on. It could be personal, it could be professional, it could be something else, but having that network is actually really important. So, make the most of it. Find a mentor. Just reach out there. I'd love to hear from many of you as well if you've got any questions.
Well, none from my end, Rashmi. I think it was a fabulous session.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been beautiful to talk to you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you for your time today. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care, everyone. Bye.